Jonesy
and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
From the Daily Oz, she is the editor. Gillespie is here. You are the editor, aren't you? You keep making a face when I say that.
It's just,
You haven't been demoted.
No, just imposter syndrome. I don't know. You make it sound very important, and then
It's
we
a
talk
big
about
deal.
fun,
El
silly
Presidente.
Thank you. Yes, it's actually El Presidente on the LinkedIn, so thank you, Amanda.
Welcome.
Thank you. We're talking today about another celebrity, speaking of high-status, important people in the community. Anne Hathaway is being, a little bit cancelled over an interview that she did 12 years ago.
Right.
She was clearly having a bad day. It was during the sort of press junket promotion for Les Miserables, back in 2012, of which, of course, she won an Oscar for.
That's right.
And this journalist from Norway has resurfaced this cringe interview and it's gone viral. Here's a little bit of it.
So I was going to ask you to do the first question in singing. Can I sing it to you and you can sing back the answer?
Well, I won't be doing that, but you're more than welcome to sing.
Kirsty Fla from TV2 Norway, and you have Sweden.
Okay, I will try. So were there any awkward moments like this on the set because you had to sing and not talk? Do you feel that love was more passionate back then, or people would sacrifice more for love than we do today?
No.
It's the whole interview is just one word answers. She goes on to ask her, do you remember your childhood crush, the first time you had a crush? And she says, no. She clearly doesn't want to be there. And it's all one word answers.
But that was 12 years ago.
It was 12 years ago. And in a kind of unusual turn of events, her publicist has reached out to that journalist. So her name's Kirsty Fla from Norway. She posted that on TikTok, amassed 11 million views. And then she did a follow-up video revealing that she got this long email from Hathaway's publicist written by Anne Hathaway explaining what she was dealing with at the time. She apologized. Apparently it was this really lengthy, thoughtful response. The journalist said that they had both decided to keep it private. So whatever the kind of decided now to keep private, whatever she said to explain her behavior. Obviously she was going through something. She's a famously lovely person, Anne Hathaway.
We've spoken to Anne Hathaway.
No, I don't think we have.
I'm sure we have.
Oh, well, either way, it created this huge pylon, and Kirsty Fla, the Norwegian journalist who shared the video, if that name is familiar, it's because she also resurfaced the Blake Lively video that kicked off this whole saga recently with It Ends With Us. That you might have heard a grab from that where Blake Lively is pregnant and the journo says to her like, oh, congratulations on your bump.
We had
and
that
she
in
says,
our show,
congratulations on your bump. And the
Obviously
woman
not pregnant and very rude.
Yes.
And that started a whole cascade against Blake Lively.
Exactly.
But maybe it's this journo, maybe the Norwegians, because they're a little bit, how you say,
It's a
humorless
different nuance, really.
when they talk to you. So,
But is this the new thing that you can get cancelled for having an off day? It's interesting, isn't it? I remember years ago reading an interview that was really slagging off Shirley Bassey, of all people. She had an album out. And the guy was really slagging her off. And it's only afterwards I sort of thought differently about it because she said, I just want to put an album out and I do publicity for it. But they were raking over the coals of her family. It had involved suicide, estrangement from children, blah, blah, blah. She said, do I have to rake over my entire life to do an interview with you about an album?
but it's like when Keith Urban came on our show and you asked about Nicole. And you just said, you started talking about how you first
They met at Say
how they
Good Day.
met. And I could tell instantly he didn't want to go into it because he wants to talk about his tour. He wants to talk about what he's doing. He doesn't want to talk about his misso. And that's what happened because you've only got a finite time to talk in these segments.
Well,
so he doesn't want to bang on about her for the most of the interview.
Especially, I think TikTok's really changed the way that celebrity interviews work. It's the long form interview has kind of died unless you're ready to sit down and pick up a glossy magazine and read a profile on someone. No one really cares about the full 30-minute context or the 10-minute context of the chat. It's, what's going to make the fascinating 20-second soundbite that's going to go viral. And you're exactly right that you could just be having that bad day and then it goes viral. But the intentions of this journalist have really been called into question. Whereas after the Blake Lively moment, people were really sympathetic and saying that was really unfair that she'd had to cop that behaviour from a celebrity. But now that she's dug up old content a second time and recirculated that and gone viral, things have sort of shifted where people have come to Anne Hathaway's defence.
I'm Team Hathaway on this one.
Yeah, they've said, she didn't do anything wrong. She was firm in her answers.
And the thing was, what she was doing in that is lame. When you watch it, it's just lame. Don't do
Having
lame
said,
stuff.
we've interviewed Mark Wahlberg a couple of times.
Yeah.
One was the best interview we've ever done. One was the worst.
Remember he flirted with you on the last one.
But
He
it's
loved
also
you.
the same
There you
as
go.
Ashton Kutcher. You catch people on a bad day, but you think, hey, you're here to publicise a movie. When they go on those talk shows.
Yeah.
They'll go on Conan, how old's that now? But they'll go on that stuff, Jimmy Kimmel, and give
Graham
everything.
Norton, yeah.
And give everything.
Oh, they give their best, exactly.
Yeah, so
Whereas,
it's frustrating when you don't get something from them.
Yeah, and I'm sure for the journalists it feels awful. You walk away and you think, oh, wow, that was my hero and I met them and they were awful to me. But, you know, in the context of that famous person's day, they might have 3 hours of
That's
back-to-back
exactly right.
5-minute blocks.
Yep.
So I forgive them for that. That's absolutely right.
I think we've just got to be a little bit more forgiving, ask ourselves, okay, what's the broader context of this?
Yep.
What else have they done? If, you know, loads and loads of interviews come out and we start to think, all right, this person doesn't know how to treat people in the media or they don't know how to do their job well or they're not very nice, then you get a reputation. Yeah, sure, it's worth calling into question. But I think, you know, one TikTok that shows Anne Hathaway
Having a bad day.
a little bit, bad mood. I don't know. I forgive her.
That's why I stick with what do you think of Australia so far?
Because that doesn't take up any time in an interview.
Keith Urban comes in. Hey, what do you think of Australia so far?
Yeah. Is this your first time here?
Do you like Australia? Do you love it? Are you going to live here?
I think some Yanks would think you were saying sofa. They wouldn't understand your accent now.
JD Vance and his ears would prick up.
I'm going to jump on that sofa. Thank you, you big editor machine, you.
Thank you.
M. Gillespie from the Daily Oz.